My 27 female, ex 29 male threw a 6-year relationship down the drain. I don't know where to go from here. A 6-year relationship down the drain. My 27 female, ex 29 male had weight loss surgery a little over a year ago, and now after losing over 100 pounds, out of nowhere said he needed some time to see if he still wanted our relationship. That was on our anniversary in November. I spent Thanksgiving by myself, and on Christmas Day, he gave me a card with a typed letter saying he couldn't do this anymore but still wants to be friends. I'm shocked and hurt. We have an apartment, phone lines, and pets together. We were saving to buy a house out of state to be closer to his family. Now all those plans mean nothing. He keeps in contact with me daily through text and even checks in when I don't respond. A few days before he dumped me, he texted me a TikTok, and when I opened it in the app, another person's username and picture popped up saying they sent me the TikTok video. I clicked on the profile and saw it was a woman's soft corn account on TikTok. I asked him if he knew anybody by that name, and he lied and said no. Eventually, it came out that this was his friend he was helping build a social media following. He is a truck driver. He had several comments under her video saying how beautiful she is. I recently found out that the same friend posted my ex on a date with her on her Instagram with heart emojis. The post was from a week after he dumped me. My heart is shattered. I really can't understand how he could jump to another woman in a week after being with me for 6 years. I can't understand why he kept in contact with me while seeing someone else. To put the cherry on top, he took off work to come into my town for my birthday this weekend. I never asked or implied I wanted him to. Now he's saying he needs to explain it to me in person because I just don't understand him. What's there to understand? What's there to further explain?
My sister managed to ruin 2 families' lives with her selfishness. Gross vehicular manslaughter while intoxicated. 2 counts of it. She was so wasted that she doesn't even remember leaving the party that night. She was out partying again. No idea why. She failed nearly every single one of her university classes. She's never needed an excuse though. College for her has just been a free pass to party and run up a credit card bill. My parents have sheltered her from the minute that she could walk and have never made her face a single consequence for her actions. The last year has shown she has no motivation to work or do anything really. Just guilt my parents for money with promises of doing better next time. She crashed the car that my dad got her into a pole high on MDMA last fall. I told my parents that they need to take the car back. I told her that she needed to stop driving if she was high or drunk. I begged everybody to do something before she hurt someone. A mother and her child. That's the lives she ended up taking. I've heard she was married and had a young baby at home as well. My sister doesn't understand what she's truly done. That, or she doesn't care. My parents have convinced her that everything will be fine. Again, because they don't understand or care. They think that because she's 19, they won't throw her in prison. Because she's never been caught breaking the law before, she'll get a slap on the wrist or something. That she can bat her lashes and fake a cry and she'll avoid the big girl consequence for the mistake she made. She's looking at 20 years for this. I won't be sticking around to watch the courtroom drama play out. Me and my brother are cutting contact today. Am I in the wrong for canceling a vacation because my wife can't pay her share after helping her adult son and ex-husband? My wife, 44, makes quite a bit less than me, 45 male, so our joint expenses are split 70-30. To clarify, she contributes 30% of her pay to our joint expenses, bills, utilities, emergency funds, retirement. 70% of her pay she keeps for personal expenses to spend or save how she wishes. Dates, vacations, and fun things we choose to do together are budgeted and planned based on what we can afford from our personal funds. Pool that money together, then pay together. For the most part, things like vacations and where we bought a house are decided based on what she can afford. But there have been several times I've paid in full for vacations to places I really enjoy and want to share the experience with her. She has a 23-year-old son from her previous marriage. When she and I got together, I told her that I wouldn't mind paying for extra things here and there until her son was 18 and working or in school so she could take care of him. For the majority of our relationship, he's lived with his father. He decided against college or trade school and hasn't expressed any interest in starting to figure out a plan for the immediate future, let alone his life. He floats from job to job and his father is pretty much the same since the kid graduated. Therein lies the problem. Every few months, they'll call her for a few $100s here and there. Sometimes it's her son calling for help, sometimes it's her ex-husband. This has caused her to be short on funds for our plans, or things she volunteered to cover on more than one occasion. Her reasoning when her ex is asking is that since her son still lives with him, she has to help him. I get that to a point. We were supposed to go on a vacation later this month. Nothing major or fancy, just some time away. We had agreed to split the cost, and all that was left to pay were the hotels, rental car, and some reservations. Her ex-husband called needing help getting his car out of impound and getting caught up on rent. Their son hasn't been able to get to work without the car because he doesn't want to ride a bike or take a bus. Almost $5,000 later, they're set up, but my wife told me that she can't pay for her portion of our vacation. So I told her that I was canceling it. She called me a heartless ass, that she's just taking care of her son and we've been arguing over it, but my stance is this. They're both able-bodied adults that keep making a series of life decisions that keep them at a standstill, like quitting jobs over little things, smoking, going out, and her always digging them out of their hole is starting to impact our lives more and more. And I didn't sign up for that. Am I in the wrong for canceling our vacation instead of just footing the entire cost myself?
Story time about my toxic ex-best friend. So a little background information. I had a very close guy friend who we're going to call Max. Now, Max was 2 years older than me, but due to our families being super close, him and I became best friends. Growing up, I saw him as kind of an older brother, and then eventually as we grew up, I saw him as my best friend, until I realized that he was actually a terrible person, and I missed all of the signs that he was not a real friend. Like one, our first fight, I told him something that I didn't want anybody else knowing. And what do you know, right after I tell him, my family knows, his family knows, my crush knows, all of our friends know. After this, I probably should have distanced myself, but he apologized and we became friends again. That was sign number 1. Sign number 2, his huge change in attitude. 1 second, he would be extremely rude to me, and then he would be this really sweet and caring guy, and his apologies were the best. So it was really hard not to forgive him. He was like a master manipulator. Number 3, we only talked whenever it was convenient for him. Like seriously, we would never talk unless he needed something, like for part 2. Part 2 about my toxic ex-best friend. I think we left off on sign number 3, which was the only time that we would talk was when it was convenient for him. He would never reach out, which left me being the one who was constantly trying to preserve our friendship or whatever was left of it. Like all of our messages were literally me, and it made me seem really needy, and like I was putting in way too much effort because he would literally answer with the most simple messages. Like, yeah, okay, sure. And he would only talk to me whenever he wasn't with his friends. Sign number 4. It felt like he was embarrassed of me. Now, I know that I was 2 years younger than him, but we were still friends, and I really don't think that's that much of a difference. Like, he would never want to be seen with me. The last sign, he would literally always talk about me behind my back. And I thought this was just rumors at first, until finally several people told me that it was not a rumor. He would say things like, oh, she's ugly, she's so immature, she's annoying and childish, she's so annoying. And then I finally decided to cut him off. Because if the bad outweighed the good, was it really worth keeping that person in my life?
Anxious people don't need you to say that would never happen. We already think it's going to happen. No amount of logic is going to get us to believe that the bad thing in our heads is never gonna happen. What we need to hear you say is, wow, if that happened, that would suck, but like, I got your back. If we're anxious or stressed about something and we share that with you and you say that would never happen, or you just blow us off, that makes us feel like we're all on our own. Being super nonchalant about everything actually stresses us out more because it means we have to be prepared and have a plan for everything. And even if it doesn't seem like it's sane, you know, if we're having a party and I say, oh, I'm super nervous about the bubble machine. What if it catches fire? And you say, that's not going to happen. That's never happened before in the history of bubble machines at parties. Or, wow, I've never even thought about that because that's so crazy. Neither of those things are going to make me feel better. I'm going to be stressed about the bubble machine the entire party. This didn't happen. I'm just making it up as an example. But if I say I'm scared that the bubble machine is going to catch fire during the party and you say, oh, well, you know, I don't think that's going to happen. But if it does, we do have a fire extinguisher in the kitchen. Just give me a solution. Just let me know that you've thought about it. Don't tell us it's going to be fine because that will never happen. Tell us even if that does happen, it's going to be fine because I'm here for you.
I used to really hate the color pink when I was a little girl. I love it now. Hated it then. I hated people trying to force pink on me and feminine things when I was a child. I remember having meltdowns about it. Like my mom would take me to buy a bike helmet or something, and we'd go into the store and the shop lady would see me and get all excited and say, oh, I have the perfect helmet for you, and hand me a pink helmet, and I would just start crying. Anyway, my older brother had this friend named James who lived on our block, and the three of us would always go play outside in the street together until the street lamps came on. We would play Hot Wheels and Pokemon cards, and we would put the caps from our Sunny D bottles in the gutter and just race them or just watch them float down the street. One day, James had a birthday party, and it was mostly for like the bigger kids, but because I always followed them around while they were playing, James let me come to the birthday party. And I think it was at a bowling alley or a skating rink. I don't remember. All I remember was that they had these gift bags for all the kids, and I was so excited when they told me that I was going to get one of the gift bags on my way out the door. And apparently all the kids had RSVP'd to the party. I was a child, so I didn't know that I had been RSVP'd to the party. And so what they done was they did gift bags for the girls and gift bags for the boys. And the gift bag for the girls had like lip gloss and dolls and stickers and lots of cool things, but I didn't want those cool things. I wanted the blue gift bag with the Pokemon cards and the Hot Wheels in it. So at the end of the party, when we were told to go grab our gift bags on the way out, of course I went and I tried to take a blue gift bag, and they told me that I couldn't have it. And I said, but I don't want the pink one, I want the blue one. And they said, well, you know, we did a head count on how many kids were coming, and we only have enough for all of the boys to have one blue one and all of the girls to have one pink one. I remember they took away the blue gift bag and they gave me the pink one, and I just like fell to the floor sobbing. Like I distinctly remember sitting on the ground just crying so hard. And James, who was the birthday boy, walked up to me holding his blue gift bag, and he was so sweet, and he said, you can have my blue gift bag, and then, you know,
when you throw a tantrum or you get upset about something and then you get your way and you feel bad about it. Even as a child, I felt that way. So I felt guilty that the birthday boy was giving me his cool blue gift bag with his Pokemon card pack in it. And I was like, oh no, you don't have to do that. And he said, no, that's okay. This pink one looks really cool. Like, I think the stickers look awesome. And he was just so sweet about it. And I don't know if I would remember that if he didn't trade gift bags with me. I think it would just be a long forgotten tantrum.